Hello, these are the notes for Chapter 1 from the Pure1 A-Level book. 1.5, it is surds that we're looking at, and we're going to start by simplifying surds by recognising square factors. I'm just writing down the laws of surds that you'll be familiar with from GCSE. If I multiply two numbers and then square root that, it's the same as square rooting each of the numbers and then multiplying them after you've square rooted each. And there's a similar rule for division, so I'll try and keep an eye on what we're doing as we're doing it. And the first thing we're going to do with this problem at the top is we are going to break up 75 and 12 into two numbers A and B. So we're going to be looking for one of our numbers to be a square factor. So from 75, 25 is a factor of 75 and it's square. The fact that 3 is the number left over isn't that big a deal, but we then apply to those two numbers our first rule. We are breaking them up. The reason we do that is that we can square root 25 to make 5. That simplifies the whole surd down to 5 root 3, and we do it to both of them. So root 12 becomes 4 times 3 square rooted, and you can see that simplifying. At the very end, 5 minus 2 gives us the 3 at the front. It's just algebraic at the end. When we're dividing two fractions like this, we do the same thing. We take each of the original surds and we simplify them. We then notice anything that we can cancel, and in this case we can cancel both the surds, root 3, and we're left with 5 over 2. Now when we're multiplying something, as you see at the bottom of the screen, the first thing we do is take the non-surd factors and multiply those together, and then we put the surds side by side in our working. This means we can multiply 3 and 2 to get 6, and we don't have to worry about that slipping under a square root by accident. 2 times 8 gives us 16, and we can find the square root of 16, it's 4. So our answer to this question is 24. Okay, the second skill we're going to be looking at is expanding brackets with surds. We're still in 1.5 in chapter 1. So it's just like expanding brackets from GCSE, where you are multiplying the first term times the first term. I like to use lines. I don't really understand anyone who doesn't, but if you don't, I guess I could tolerate that somehow. Then the first times the last. And here I've just multiplied the numbers in the surds together straight away. I don't mind you doing that. I did it for the first one to get 16 as well. But it's really important you don't accidentally slip a number that's not under a square root into a square root. That would be the wrong thing to do. Next we go through and we simplify every surd that we see. Our first term is just the number 24. If I simplify the square root of 24 for my second term, and I'll simplify that elsewhere, take out a factor of 4, it's the biggest square number I can take out. And I put that into my equation. The square root of 4 is 2, times that by 3, and I get 6, times by root 6. So that is the term 3 root 24 simplified. The last two terms can't be simplified. Quick thing to do at the end is to check that none of the surds simplify. And that's true because there's no square factor of 6. There is none. The only factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. And none of those is a square number. And it's the same as true for 2 and 3, and we're done.